Hey WDD, the Huda Domination Group. This is DJ, the site creator of the group. The WDD is a New Orleans Saints football team fan based group, but we're not talking about sports today. We're going to be talking about something that's dear to my heart too. A lot of things that's been going on here lately with the events of um, shootings. Okay, so in the event of shootings, we now have where teachers are going to be armed with guns. They're going to pick a particular set. I understand they're going to be highly trained. The guns are going to be in lock boxes at the schools. There also is going to be policemen at every school with a high-powered weapon. Didn't help us much when the gentleman in Florida, the officer didn't even try to help, yet hid. But let's go back to teachers and policemen, all with power weapons that can be utilized against a threat. Say like a student or an ex-student coming back and shooting up the place. They can take aim and fire. But, is that going to solve things too? I'm just saying, it's protection. That's a yay and or nay kind of a thing. But it's a pro and a con because people, if we don't watch what we're doing here, we're going to repeat things again in time and in history. And if you haven't understood it, you probably have heard of it. This will call for, and I guarantee you, civil arrest, civilian casualties beyond compare. And it's just, to me, another distraction that government is going to do. They're saying, oh, we need this. And everyone's like, yay, because when our children are being shot at, it's real easy to take the emotional scale of an individual and use that to benchmark something even greater. And why would we want to harm ourselves any more than what has already happened? So that leads me to this. So let's talk about shootings. Per se, the one in Florida that just took place recently. And again, another shooting in Florida, like a nightclub, and another beginning shooting starting with Columbine, and then the Sandy Hook schools and so forth. And, gun control is just crazy. And now you have younger people marching on Washington, D.C., wanting this problem resolved to the best of its abilities. One of the things I want to share with you all is people have their opinions, and so we need to respect that. No one needs to get angry or mad when someone voices something that they may not believe in or believe in. I'm not here to change your input. I'm not here to make you think differently about what your religious part is or not, whether you are a gun owner and you should or you shouldn't, or, be for and or not. It's just simply a message that I would like to address. So since the beginning of time, we've had weapons, and weapons have been there, and they have been developed by man. And we've had wars, and wars will be there. It always comes to, play that, history does repeat itself. Now, we want to remove guns and so forth, and great. We want a different age limitation and background checks. Well, we've been doing or asking this for, gosh, I think since I was in junior high school. So since then, I've grown up, graduated, got married, had 2 kids, and I got a grandchild that's 5 years old, and I'm a grown woman in my 50s, and I'm just saying, and here we are still battling that same concept, and you want to ponder the question, so let me ask you why. People have been killing people. Guns have been around, and mobsters, it's been around gangs, it's been just people, leaving them unattended, their children, their family member, themselves, it's been, all kind of shootings. And by the way, Europe, in the European countries, they have more of this happening that's not being discussed, on our TVs from a national global perspective than what our news media is trying to say that we've had about 17 already, and that's not true. It's been pretty much 2 this year here, but still 2 is too much. And I just basically want to like go into a little bit more detail and ask people about a certain aspect that I don't think people are stopping to take and consider. Again, your mind is your mind. What you believe in is what you believe. What you want and what you need, that's up to you. Opinion. But I just want to talk about this real quick. So just give me a second, okay? Ma'am? Thank you. Okay. Billy Graham's daughter was interviewed on the early show. Jane Clayson asked her, how could God let something like this happen? And this is regarding the attacks on September 11th. And Graham gave an extremely profound and insightful response. She said, I believe God is deeply saddened by this, just as we are. But for years, we've been telling God to get out of our schools and to get out of the government and to get out of our lives. And being the gentleman he is, I believe he had calmly backed out. How can we expect God to give us his blessing and his protection if we demand he leaves us alone? In light of recent events, terrorist attacks, school shootings, etc., I think it started when Madalyn Murray O'Hair, she was murdered, her body found recently, complained she didn't want prayer in her schools. And we said, okay. Then someone said, you better not read the Bible in school. The Bible says, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and love your neighbor as yourself. And we said, okay. Then Dr. Benjamin Spock said we shouldn't spank our children when they misbehave. Their little personalities would be warped, and we might damage their self-esteem. Dr. Spock's son committed suicide. We said, an expert should know what he's talking about. And we said, okay. Now we're asking ourselves, why our children have no conscience? Why they don't know right from wrong? And why it doesn't bother them to kill strangers, their classmates, and then themselves. Probably if we think about it long and hard enough, we can figure it out. I think it has a great deal to do with we reap what we sow. Funny how simple it is for people to trash God and then wonder why the world's going to hell. Funny how we believe what the newspapers say, but question what the Bible says. Funny how you can send jokes through email and they spread like wildfire, but when you start sending messages regarding the Lord, people think twice about sharing. Funny how lewd, crude, vulgar, and obscene articles pass freely through cyberspace, but public discussion of God is suppressed in the schools and the workplace. Are you laughing? Funny how when you follow this message, you will not send it to many on your address list because you're not sure of what they believe or what they will think of you for sending it. Funny how we can be more worried about what other people think of us than what God thinks of us, and I will add what we think of God. I challenge you to think about it. And while you're discussing what we should do, what gun control needs to be, where weapons need to go, I challenge you to ask yourself why you think these things are. Why isn't he a part of the bigger plan. He was here, and we told him to go. He's just as smart. He's just as much a part of all of this as man who created this damn chaos. Are you laughing now?
Well, everybody's got a story to tell, and everybody's got a wound to be healed. I wanna believe there's beauty here, 'cause oh, I get so tired of holding on. Meaning here. How many times have you heard me cry out, God, please take this? How many times have you given me strength to just keep breathing? Oh, I need you, God, I need you now. Standing on a road I didn't plan, wondering how I got to where I am. I'm trying to hear that still small voice. I'm trying to hear above the noise. How many times have you heard me cry out, God, please take this? How many times have you given me strength to just keep breathing? Oh, I need you, God, I need you now. Oh, I walk through the shadows, and I'm so afraid. Please stay right beside me with every single step I take. How many times have you heard me cry out? And how many times have you given me strength?